West Eğitim ortaklarından olan Martin Biewenga, Rotterdam Academy of Architecture ve Urban Planning Rotterdam, Amsterdam, The Netherlands, Oxford Brookes University ve The Royal Academy of Fine Arts, Copenhagen gibi kurumlarda dersler vermektedir. Bir arazi yaratmak, ardından onu şekillendirmek, bu tam anlamıyla bir Hollandalı işi diyen Biewengga'yı Yeni Bir Bakış adlı sunumu için sahneye davet ediyoruz.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning. My lecture has a very different nature than Thomas's lecture. We are designers. We have a design firm in landscape architecture and urban design. And we work around the globe on different projects. I think the theme of the conference is very interesting and very relevant for architects and designers. In a way to think about what is next and what does the future look like. Of course, we are not prophets and we are designers. And let's say what I would like to talk to you about today is what we as an international firm are facing. So the clients, they approach us with a multiplicity of questions. Some are very commercial questions, some are more very aspirational questions. But what we find in these, in the way that the communities or cities approach us, are two overarching themes. The first theme is the theme of sustainability, which is, of course, some people have very sincere objection on making the world more sustainable. Other people approach it more in a commercial way because sustainability also sells. And what we feel is that the debate and the discussion about sustainability has been narrowed down to basically two themes: energy efficiency. So how can we make buildings more energy efficient? How do we produce energy? And the second theme is let's say, the life cycle of materials. So, can we use more sustainable materials in our environment? We think that, and of course, let's say, institutions like BREEAM, they focus the attention, especially for architects and designers, very much on these elements. And you can tick your box and say, well, I've made a beautiful, sustainable building, because I checked the list of BREEAM. We think that, let's say, for the future debate, we have to broaden the debate about sustainability, introduce a much longer time frame to think about what is sustainable and especially what is durable on the long run, and also to, let's say, introduce changes in society and introduce them in the debate and in the creation of places around the world. The second theme people approach us for is the theme of identity. Cities have an area they want to develop, and they say, well, we have no idea what we want to do with it. Can you make us a project that adds identity to this place? And let's say, in a way, also in relation to Thomas' lecture, this is an interesting question which is centuries old and is still, I think, very relevant in a time where things are rapidly changing, and people are both, let's say, physically and mentally very mobile. There is still a very strong desire for identity, for local character, and for basically for anecdotes and narrative to connect people to places. And I would like to, let's say, illustrate these two themes that we see as strong overarching themes today and tomorrow in three projects. The first project is an environmental issue. it has to do with climate change, with sea level rise, with increasing environmental impact. This is about the superstorm Sandy, which hit the east coast of North America 2 years ago. And President Obama and Senator Sean Donovan, they initiated this rebuild program. So they initiated a task force to rebuild the area, but especially to make the area, which is, let's say, this storm is not a unique occasion. It happens over and over again. So their ambition is to make the coast of Northeast America more resilient for natural disasters like this. And basically what they've done is they've invited a large group of designers and engineers and thinkers to think about rebuilding the area by design, and with the community of New York and New Jersey. We've participated in this initiative with a project that is called Blue Dunes. And just to illustrate, let's say, the immense impact of the storm on the coast of North America. This is Manhattan, here's Brooklyn, this is New Jersey. This is basically what happened in the storm. So the sea surges and the entire area, or at least the let's say former swamp areas, were flooded with tremendous social and economical effects. Especially also on a private level, people were completely, let's say, affected by the storm. Their house was demolished. Of course, then the next step is that first you have to get over your trauma, but then the next step is that you have to try and talk to your insurance company. They put on a denial lawyer and try to rebuild your house, which is, let's say, a very dramatic process. Also on the level of infrastructure, the water has a very big effect. If you only look at the metro system of New York, which was completely shut down because of the flood. And of course there are, let's say, many ecological issues that are related to the storm. Of course you cannot directly transfer that into cost, but let's say the effect is dramatic. Also on the economy of the northeastern part of America. In such a large disasters, there is let's say, the insurance claim is so big. In this case, it's about $500 billion US dollar of insurance claims on physical and economical claims. That really is, let's say, a national. It becomes a national economical issue. Let's say this is a very abstract diagram of, let's say, the cost of the environmental impact of storms on the east coast of America. And what you can see is that Sandy was a superstorm with a very big economical impact. And what you could see at this small animation is that especially the former wetlands, which are now urbanized, and of course this is a process that is happening around the world. People have the attitude and the intuition to urbanize lower areas along the water. Especially these former wetlands are seriously affected by the storm. Just to explain you how this storm worked. So this is the storm on the ocean. And basically what it does is that it builds up and it pushes up the water towards the land. Of course, there's a shallow continental reef that increases the swell. And let's say for now, and this is, let's say, the immediate response from the authorities, is they say we have to build barriers around our communities to protect them from this sea surge. And basically, again, here is Manhattan. Let's say this is the initial response. So we built walls, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meter high walls to retain the water, adding up to about 4,000 miles of new seawall in the area, which is, let's say, you can hardly imagine what the effect is. It basically disconnects the city from the water landscape. This is what happens, of course. You have a seawall and the city is completely disconnected. In this rebuild by design, there were many teams that came up with localized ideas to, let's say, protect a local community or neighborhood around Manhattan, around the shores of New Jersey and Brooklyn. Our team, we took a different approach, and in our opinion, a more structural approach to this problem. We introduced blue dunes. Again, here's Manhattan, this is the Hudson Bay. And our proposal is to create man-made islands in front of the coast of this bay. Here you can see it in more detail, 40 miles of sandy islands in front of the coast. And let's say around the world there are many examples of let's say man-made islands. This is a natural coastline of the north of the Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark. And of course we have examples in Hong Kong for the landfill of the airport, in Dubai with the Palm Islands and the Dutch coast. And of course, since we are Dutch and we are, let's say, it is in our nature to protect our land from the sea, intuitively we developed this approach. Again, here in Manhattan, the coastline and basically the condition on the east coast of America is that there is a continental shelf which is more shallow. And on the left image you can see basically what happens. If there's a storm, the sea is basically collecting and intensifying the effect through a funnel effect in this condition. So the waves are multiplied in this funneling condition. And what we introduce is, let's say, a barrier, an offshore barrier, to overcome this effect. We've studied this with a North American geological institute in computer models, and basically find that if you build up a barrier in front of the coast, it will reduce the water levels and the impact of the sea. And of course, this is our interest. With the islands, we can create, let's say, new ecologies on the coastline of New Jersey. So basically, we introduce a lower sea with and a wave breaker. And basically, what happens with the project is that the image that I show with all these, let's say, retaining walls to protect the neighborhoods from the waves. So the average retaining is 8 to 14 feet. And with the introduction of the islands, basically you can lower all those barriers and, let's say, still have a normal relationship with the water and reduce the investment in all these different neighborhoods. So our proposal is to introduce 40 miles of ecological islands that, of course, initially are, let's say, man-made islands, but in time, and time is on the development of an island very quick, will develop in a more natural way. And that in combination with offshore wind farming, and let's say the effect of a wind farm you can beautifully see in this image. So basically what the windmill does is that it distorts and it fragments the impact of the wind. Of course, it consumes the energy of the wind. So this is a very effective way not only to produce energy but also to lower the impact of the storm. And the second level of the proposal is a more, let's say, economical way of developing islands. Of course, let's say a series of islands is a beautiful way of having an offshore family house or offshore a place to go with a ferry boat. The difficulty with projects like this, which have a very large scale and basically cover different states, is that it immediately becomes a federal project, which of course in America is difficult because America is basically a very local economy. The second project I would like to show is a design which is dealing more with, let's say, adding identity and narrative to a place. This is the old central station in my hometown, Rotterdam, with architecture from the 50s, beautiful architecture with a very high sentimental connection to it. People love the building. But of course the building was outdated, it was too small, it could not handle the number of passengers. So we teamed up with two architects and made a design proposal for a new station. This is the new station, the outline of the new station, and here you can see it in the top view. And basically the station is a large hangar over the platforms and a very large public hall facing towards the city. So this is this covered space, and the large, basically empty public station building. We've made many design studies to test the sculptural effect of a building, of adding a building in the city. In the end, it resulted in I think a very sexy building that is basically only supported by two points, in metal and in wood. And we use the wood to give the traveler a more, let's say, tactile experience. Most infrastructural buildings are white, stainless steel, and very abstract. Then another, let's say, in a way the design is multi-layered. We introduce elements like this. So the construction has a kind of open leg. So every morning travelers arrive through the open legs of the station. This theme is also designed in a holder for the railing, and also comes back in the planting. So these are the plane trees that are in front of the station, which are grown in a V shape. There was a lot of thought about light. So let's say most users of the station, they go there every day and they use it every day. And let's say this has been an inspiration for us. This is Grand Central, a beautiful photo of Grand Central in New York. And we've, let's say, introduced these skylights in a more contemporary way to increase the contrast between light and dark. Another layer in the station, which does connect the city people with the station, is the reintroduction of old sculptures from the former building. We've made an interpretation of those sculptures in the new concrete work. And the actual sculptures have been given a new place in the building. The same goes for the old letters and the old clock that are reintroduced in the building. And of course, Rotterdam, as you might know, is one of the largest ports in the world. The port is basically moving out of the city, so the city becomes residential, and the port is far away. So the city used to have lend its identity from the port. That relationship is now more distant. And let's say we've introduced a 40-meter wide LED screen in the arrival hall. So when you arrive in the morning at 8 o'clock, you see live images from the port of Rotterdam, and actually see that they've started working 3 hours before. It's a 24-hour economy. And so we try to, let's say, connect the traveler with the larger identity of the city. There's another project I would like to show, but I see that my time is up, so thank you very much.
Evet, Martin Biewenga'ya teşekkürler.